Oh yeah,
Carlos, are you ever going to change your mind on Meta ever?
Change my mind in what sense?
In the sense of you have a really weird argument for why you don't like Meta. That's not backed up by any argument
it's not,
other than your ideology around Zuckerberg.
But it's not. It's not an ideological thing. It's something where if someone like Zuck is spending so much money trying to build what his next S curve is, there's a reason why. What is he spending? 10 billion a quarter or something on this thing?
10 billion a year, roundabout.
10 billion a year on it. I think obviously he has access to all of the information. It's to me like the company that we were discussing earlier, Arcimoto, was, while their stock was tanking, they kept talking about all this money that they had. They kept talking about private financing. Don't worry about the money. We've got the money, right? And we come to find out that, yeah, their financial situation was a lot more dire than we thought it was. I think that's a bit of what this amount of spending against what the investors and the board or what even the general public thinks of the metaverse. I think it's a sign that Meta is not necessarily as financially strong as we may think it is on the outside. From the advertising business alone. Like, advertising makes money, but that's not the way that you continue to grow and grow and grow, right? And so I think the fact that he's making and willing to bet so much of the company on that means that they're struggling, or that there is trouble on the horizon that he needs to get ahead of. I do feel that, and we've had this conversation. And I think even you guys have even conceded maybe Apple will be the number one player in VR, right? Maybe they will come in with their headset and they'll take over in VR. And we say, okay, well, maybe Meta will be number two, but Microsoft's making a play in this as well. It's kind of, I see it as kind of like the streaming wars, right? You have Disney. They're going to be making a play as well. I just don't know that Meta is going to be that company. They've tried several times to become a product company and it's never worked. And I think this is a big, big gamble. It's a big pivot for a company like that. This mature to make that pivot. I just don't believe it, right? I see this data and I don't believe the story. I believe that we would have seen more signs that this metaverse is going to be a bigger deal than we think it is. And I haven't seen that. And that's why I believe that, yeah, in terms of as an investment, I think that Facebook is not, or Meta is not a growth company anymore. They're a value stock.
Well, yeah, the thing is, I agree with a lot of what Carlos says because, well, in terms of that, Meta has proven, first of all, that they do sell VR. They're the only ones who are making any money on VR because everybody else is totally screwed. Google has messed it up completely. They invested in, does anyone know off the company offhand that they invested in?
Google?
Yeah, they invested in a VR play. Totally, it's not even existent. It's like a $3,000 set. Hold on.
Is that a sign that these companies?
Apple, if they do come out, once again, it's that fallacy that it's day one. We have 5 years until there actually any competition for what Zuck has created at this point. What he did was a lot. This is what I keep going. Chris, maybe Chris will back me up at least on this one, that he's spent 10 years doing this when everybody else was ignoring it. So you guys are not, at least Carlos is not giving enough credit for the 10 years spent to develop it. So I feel that's where it's wrong. But even if they become a number two, they're not going to be a number three. They're probably going to be a number two if Apple does eventually come in and they're 5 years out.
You don't think Disney? You don't think Disney?
Disney's losing money on trying to compete with Netflix. Disney's trying to lose money, compete with Netflix. Microsoft just recently acquiesced.
Disney's the number 3 streamer now.
Yeah, but they're losing money against Netflix. So, and in fact, that's why their stock tanked recently, really hard. But anyway, that's not happening with Disney. That's a total far-fetched thing. It's either Apple or basically nobody. Microsoft does have a HoloLens, which is around $3,500, and it's like a dev kit. And recently they came onto Meta's thing and they're releasing all their apps for Meta. So they see that, hey, Facebook is leading this. We should at least have our apps on it. Did you guys see that or no? Yes, I think Chris is asleep.
But look, but ultimately, we know that this is basically.
You were muted. You were muted.
He was getting something to share on screen. You want me to share it, Chris?
Yeah, go for it. So one of the things that I think Zuck has done very well, that a lot of people don't necessarily give him a lot of credit, is that even before he announced that this was going to be a big play, he's been acquiring. Meta, Facebook, whatever you want to call it, has been a serial acquirer of a lot of companies that do work with VR. So if you look at all the ones that they've done, so they've kind of built in this ring wall, this firewall of developers that are already creating value for Oculus, right? A lot of the companies like look at one of the most popular things, VR, like Beat Saber, right? Beat Saber is super popular for VR. Guess what? it's something that's on the quest, right? So I think a lot of times people always just assume that it's just a product, but no, it's also the developer community around it. And I think Facebook, being that they're first to the market, has done really well. If there is a bear case on Facebook or Meta, whatever, I keep having to say that, but it's around their core business, which is being impacted with their war with Apple. Apple and Meta right now, whether you want to talk about it or not, they're at war. Like the way that Apple has become like almost like what's the word?
Monopoly.
Well, yeah, they've become kind of a monopoly
It's costing them what? 3
Right.
10 billion a quarter?
10 billion a year. 10 billion a year right now.
I read that they have not posted a quarter above, what is it, 29 billion since their last quarter that was over 32 billion was the last quarter that Apple had that. So they're costing them what? 20 billion or 10 billion?
The problem
they're
here
spending
is
on Reality Labs right there.
The problem, though, is that Apple, I think, may have overplayed their hand, because in the process of going after this new ad segment, a lot of developers right now are kind of pissed, because a lot of them created business from this ad supported model. So what happens is when you open your phone and you say, when you opt out, you're basically tanking the business, right? So I think right now, Facebook is cheerleading that by saying, look, you guys can't do this. Like, you need to stop this. You can see it with Snapchat. You can see it with all sorts of other applications that are trying to sue Apple, because literally this entire ad-supported model is what's been driving the innovation in the developer space for a long time. And I don't know how Apple's going to deal with it. But one of the things that I was saying to on Twitter, I was like, you know what? At this point, if Apple wants to play this game, Facebook should just team up with Google and create a phone and start doing two things. One, limiting their presence on Apple products, because at the end of the day, with WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, if your phone can't do those functions, or
a phone,
or the support of the support, like the functionality support is terrible on an iPhone, that would compel people to switch to
I don't know. That's
an Android phone.
option. That's the nuclear.
Yeah, no, that is the nuclear option.
I just want to ask a question related to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when they talk about censorship on social media platforms, the constant defense is they're private companies and their terms of service they have the right to have their own terms of service, right? And so it can even supersede the Constitution, right? Because it's a private company.
Yeah.
Well, Apple's a private company, right? And you're saying developers can lash out and say, but you're hurting us in a way that's disproportionate, blah, blah, blah. But what's to stop Apple from saying, well, we're a private company and how we want our products used is how we want our products used. And we want to give consumers the right to opt out and not be tracked.
No, because Chris's argument is if those same developers are pissed at you, they're not going to use your new ad network or whatever when you screwed over their business. Like, developers were making millions off of Facebook. Small pizzerias were making hundreds of thousands off the targeting on Facebook ads, and all of that went to shit with iOS 14.5. And so I think they would be pissed off at Apple then at that point, and they don't want to use Apple Maps for their ads.
I think we should end with Chris. You had a good thing that I actually bought some shares because of you. You posted that TikTok is also sort of having some issues. I think we want to discuss that last bit.
Yeah. So right now, TikTok, if you look all over the country, there's Republicans and Democratic people with it. I mean, senators and House members that are actually saying, look, TikTok is not only a surveillance state, because everyone knows that there's surveillance built into TikTok at this point. It's no secret. Like, the FBI director came out with it, like the FTC came out with it. This is not like some kind of secret, like, cabal of things. It's a known fact that the Chinese are gathering the data and it's being sent back to China for whatever reason. The other problem is the societal damage that we're starting to see with TikTok is starting to become way more pronounced, where now you're seeing, in my opinion, when you look at some of the stuff that I've seen on TikTok, where it's the amplification of viewpoints that are destructive to this country. And if the country right now doesn't band together and start to say, look, we need to get these toxic, poisonous apps.
What's the probability that this act? Because I honestly think the probability is zero that TikTok gets banned.
I agree. It's like
I really don't think
legalization of marijuana. It's something that comes up every time there's an election. It's a great thing to run on. It's a great thing to campaign on. It's a great thing to campaign on. It's a great thing to fundraise on. And then
you know how many millennials that are voting in 2024 would be pissed off if their influencer career
Zero
died.
Hold on,
Because
Amit.
Biden canceled TikTok. Like,
Amit, the thing is, and I agree with you. When Trump did it, when Trump tried to ban TikTok, there was no
that would have been
alternative.
the best time. That would have been the best time.
There was no alternative at the time. That was mainstream, right? Now they have options.
No, but Chris, the argument is wrong because you're not understanding like influencer culture. Building up a TikTok following is tremendously easier than definitely building up a YouTube following. We all know that. And then second of all, an IG Reels following, because again, IG Reels, you have to click the button to get into Reels. It's not the feed. TikTok is the feed. Right. So intrinsically, you get more followers on TikTok, even if the follower quality is shitty. So there are people making a lot of money off TikTok in the United States that just have, you know, a decent 50,000, 100,000 account.
I don't think TikTok can match what Instagram and Google are going to be throwing at creators.
Well,
like
I think you're going to. When I brought that up, this is what's happening. Like boots on the ground, 5 states, southern states, right? Republican states.
Yeah, but Vitaly, it doesn't feel
are actually banned.
Are they going to get rid of TikTok from the United States of America that has like 100 million?
I don't know about that. That's not my bull case. But the fact that 5 states have already eliminated it from a certain the government organizations, so at least we know that.
What's the bull case? How does that affect Meta? If TikTok's not banned, how does that affect Meta?
Well, okay. First of all, if you make it harder, I think Chris had a valid point.
Just copies it.
Well, no, besides the copying, I'm saying Chris had a valid point on our Discord that he said that why would you want to build more, like why would brands want to build on TikTok if they think even for a little bit that it's going to be hampered in some way? So let's say
there's 100 million DAUs.
Yes, and it's fine right now, but let's say, 10 states, then 20 states. If there's an obvious pattern, I think a lot of companies might reconsider doing bigger campaigns than TikTok.
Just like they bailed from Twitter, right? When Elon Musk, advertisers were fine losing the money to make the case, right? To make the statement.
Yeah,
Joe Rogan the other day read TikTok's terms of service, and the amount of data that they collect is unbelievable. He actually read it.
Yeah, but it's the same for any app. I think that was that's bullshit. Like every app.
But the difference is it's not going to a Chinese Communist Party that's basically trying to fuck your country over. I mean, there's a big difference between Mark Zuckerberg trying to sell you an extra pair of shoes from whatever versus the Chinese saying, you know what? How are we going to feed these guys these fucking
TikTok's argument though is that all of that goes to an Oracle database in Singapore and Virginia.
Bullshit, dude.
Yes.
Bullshit. Yeah. They can say whatever they want. They'll say whatever they want to try to keep themselves within the thing. The other thing is, what brand wants to be affiliated with TikTok if you know that the fucking CCP is behind it? Like
right now, I agree with Amit. They do. They don't care. Brands just want the money. I'm just saying,
unless there's an activist movement, they're going to keep.
If more people ban it, though, if more people continue banning it, like another 5 states add or 10 states, if that actually does there's some movement. Then I can.
But you guys got to remember this. The state didn't ban it. The department, they're not allowing it on their employees' devices for in North Carolina, wherever the fuck that happened. There's millions of people using TikTok right now.
Yes,
because TikTok's a thing. Like my Meta bull case is not contingent on TikTok going away.
I agree too.
But I do agree that I find myself using it less, and I think more people might if they don't.
That's the one thing too. If you look at the engagement numbers. Instagram's engagement numbers have been trending way higher to the point where I think was on the Google App Store that there actually are now there's more downloads of Instagram than there are of TikTok, which if you go back 7 months ago wasn't even close. TikTok was at the top, so you're starting to see a transition right now among creators, among brands to say, look, back in the day, you didn't necessarily have an alternative. I think Instagram is providing that alternative to TikTok. That's not the CCP. That's worth pursuing, and I think TikTok can end up. Can
you show that? Can you show that?
I should send this.
No, I'm doing it right now. I got it. Wow, we're on the same mindset.
And so
the most downloaded app. Yeah, that thing. Yeah.
We keep talking about like Facebook failing or Meta failing.
Guys, don't look at the pictures below. Vitaly's dick pics are there, so please don't look at this. This is our WhatsApp group. We can't see his dick pics.
I can see the boobs. I can see the boobs.
You deleted it before I saw it. You deleted it before I saw that in the WhatsApp group.
Oh wait, there are boobs there. Oh
yeah, that's the first thing that came up.
Yo, that day was a funny day. That
Oh,
day-
man.
No, but
that was
listen, that picture that Vitaly sent was deleted from the group before I saw it.
It was
And then
an
the
actual
other day,
dick pic, guys.
Bro,
And then
Vitaly
the
said,
other-
all right,
but then-
hold
All
on,
right, I
no,
don't
no,
wanna
no.
get
We're
into
gonna
this.
talk. We're gonna say this.
No,
story.
no. We're not getting into this.
178 No.
Don't
Everyone
get
be-
into
I'm
this.
muting all of you right now. For
No,
the
move on.
178 people that were here. See, you're muted. See, this is why it's cool to be a host. I don't know what I said one day. I said, I said, guys, send me your pics. I need to make a thumbnail. This is the first day of the podcast. Vitaly sends a dick pic, and this dick pic is one of the most phenomenal dick pics I've seen in my life. And I'm like, V, is that you, bro? Are you really packing that much? Like, this is insane. And then he deletes it. He's like, no, that's off Google. And I was like, damn, bro, because if that was you, like that would be impressive. That would be more impressive than your end phase investment. That's all I'll say. Okay, go ahead.
First of all,
D.
if I had that D, then I wouldn't be on this podcast.
That's true.
This is for dudes who who have a hard time getting laid.
Okay. Anyway, Instagram. So on Google, it's more than TikTok at 35 million, iOS, TikTok at 22 million, and then combined total. So 50 to 48. It's pretty close.
Hold on.
This is
I just want to finish this. So that picture was deleted from the group before I got a chance to see it. And I saw that it was deleted. I was like, oh, he probably sent a dick pic. But then 2 days later, I was going through some pictures on my phone with the nanny so I could show her some pictures of the kid. And WhatsApp downloads the picture to my phone. The nanny was like,
Carlos, is that yours? No, it's my
man.
friend.
I forgot WhatsApp automatically.
Okay.
I turned
It
that shit off.
automatically-
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds
let's
like
wrap it up. Okay, this has
that
gone crazy.
sounds like a story that you could actually believe is on Pornhub. You know, where the guy is like
That's
showing
so
like,
funny,
ooh.
bro.
All right, let's wrap it up with it. Just look at the combined total. If you look at it, you would say, oh, TikTok is clearly winning. But well, look at number 2, 3, 5, and 9. Isn't it crazy that Facebook takes the 4 places out of 10 in still downloading apps? Like, and I'm curious, who is downloading Facebook at this point? Like a 3-year-olds? I don't know who's downloading.
All right, put in the chat if you knew what Sheen was, because Vitaly did not know what Sheen was. Carlos, did you know what Sheen was?
It's Shine.
Shine?
It's Shine.
Whatever the
Shine?
Yeah.
It's a
Shine.
Chinese let me go to their website right now. It's a Chinese e-commerce app with very it's like fast fashion essentially.
So it's basically Facebook and Chinese apps that are in the top 10. It's kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah. It's just look at this. Look, free shipping on orders above $10. Like that's how cheap.
So it's like Wish for clothes.
Yes, but and the clothes are kind of okay. I mean, for women, I ordered like a shirt from it once. It was whatever, but girls love it a lot.
It's fast fashion, but dude, the quality of the clothes is garbage. Like you could literally wear this maybe like twice, 3 times, and then it's gone.
But that's actually becoming a thing. That's what, like, for Zara, they're saying that it's actually like disposable clothing. You buy a shirt for $10 and you're meant to replace it. You wash it once or twice and you throw it away.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not a fan
bring
of
that
that.
up. Bring that up again, just to wrap this up. That everyone who thinks Meta is dead. I mean, 4 out of 10 apps are still downloaded basically every month in the top 10. You know.
That's a lot, bro. And it's crazy how Facebook, like 3-point-something billion people have Facebook and 40 million people downloaded Facebook again November. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, I think it would make sense that social media apps in general are going to do better than almost any other type of app.
No, but who's downloading Facebook? That's what I got. Like, don't you have it? I mean,
Okay.
It seems
So
like it's
I'm
on
gonna-
everybody's
Sure,
phone.
but every time, you know, if you go and you buy a new phone, I mean, there's a million reasons why you might have to download Facebook
All right,
again.
maybe.
I downloaded Facebook like about 2 months ago because I wanted to use Facebook Marketplace. Marketplace is awesome, dude.
Marketplace is awesome.
Yeah.
Marketplace
So
is
bro,
that,
Facebook news is not that bad too. I find myself scrolling through articles sometimes. Like, it's not horrible. It's actually, and dating. They have dating now. They introduced that to me the other. I don't use it, but I was like, oh, interesting. It's like
you
Tinder.
should. You should.
I'm
that
not
would make
interested in
sense
dating
because
right now.
all of
but-
most of the dating apps have you authenticate yourself through Facebook. Anyway.
yeah.
It's just a way of
Yeah.
knowing that you're a real person.
Roger the
It's
dog.
just-
Marketplace is where I go to get my drugs.
Ranger the dog.
Like, I'm getting a table. Nope. I'm getting
Brian
a,
P says I'm 36, no Facebook.
Well, Brian P, you're missing out because lots of ladies on Facebook. What can I say?
You could date on Facebook now. Downloads are pointless. Look at new accounts, not downloads. I guess we would put like
that is true. That is true. That's
3
like
billion. They have 3 billion monthly active users, dude. They're running out of people at this point.
even if you put a 30% conversion from download to account, that's still another 5-6 million people using it every month. It's not bad.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the funny thing. They're still gaining people. Like the last quarter, they actually gained people. I'm like, honestly, even I don't get who doesn't have it. The only thing I want them to do is not gain more people, is to just monetize those people better. Like I said, well, an extra $1.
Oh, yes. Let me end it real quick. Or Chris, go ahead, and then I'll do.
Yeah,
one
I
more
was
thing.
going to say, I didn't realize this, but Marketplace actually does two forms of additional revenue generation for them. One, by being able to be in the middle with the transactions where they can actually take a cut of them, but also when you
Ads.
search for something, there's an ad. Yeah, that's right.
Let me show you
It's
right
like-
now. I saw it
if I was-
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, I just noticed
Yeah.
that too, that there are ads now for, I was
And
looking
it's-
for guitars in the marketplace, by the way. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I need another guitar. But then a bunch of ads for guitars.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
and it's such brilliant targeting because now you're looking for a specific item and now the conversion is probably like right there. So if I'm looking for, let's say, a treadmill, right, which I was looking for, now I can say, well, you know what? There's a new treadmill for this much. You know what? Instead of getting it from someone for a used price, I could just buy a new one from this company. And I'm sure that they're paying because it says sponsored right
How
there.
do you know? Yeah, where does it say sponsored? The text
So,
is a little blurry
Usually
here.
at the very top, the first couple of them are going to be sponsored.
I don't. Yeah,
Yeah.
let me do it without the search and the regular one. Because yesterday I was seeing a
Well,
bunch of them sponsored.
I
don't
do
see
it in
any
my app.
here.
I'm not sure about the actual.
Yeah, I do it in
website.
my app.
No, I
too.
saw a bunch of sponsored ones yesterday on my laptop. I mean, on my computer. Let me type in laptop. Let's see what else comes up.
I don't think I've
Laptop.
ever used Marketplace on the actual in a browser.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go. Look at this. So right here, Lenovo, get way more laptop. Like, look at that ad. Look how like that's like Google search level shit, bro. I type in laptop and boom, there's a laptop ad right there.
Yeah. So it's kind of
I mean-
amazing all these businesses they're finding from things that you would think they would never monetize properly. But
Look,
they're
another
And then
figuring
look
it
at
out.
this one. Look at this one. Stu Docu is a great way to upload your notes, and there's a laptop in the fucking ad, which is why their AI probably recognized. Maybe it's not the best ad, right? But
And now that you
mean-
said laptop 5 times, that's all you're going to get now.
Yeah.
yeah,
Better than saying dick pic 5 times.
Oh, right.
bro, Vitaly, I was so impressed by it. And then you said it was fake, and I was just, like, I literally, I was with Tristan, my video.
He's like,
Tristan, bro,
he's
you
like,
serious?
what are you doing later?